Well, went out and did what we were supposed to do. Didn't play perfect, but played better. Cleaned some things up, got better. Some young guys really made some nice plays and got some very good experience in what they did. We got to continue to get better in different areas, but we kicked the ball pretty well tonight, covered for the most part. Had the one breakout late, had the one turnover, which is disappointing. But sometimes you throw it around enough, that'll happen. Defense played well. A couple things at the end. They overmatched those guys pretty good, we thought. But and a lot of young guys get in. I was proud at the end. We didn't lose our concentration level. We were able to execute when the young guys went in the ball game, and they were able to make plays and threw and caught and ran and did the things. We're going to build that depth for the future, and we're going to need those guys as we go on. So we'll go from there.
Jim, you scored 34 points last week. You scored 62 this week. What's that going to show your next opponent, number one Oklahoma?
No, Oklahoma's going to line up and they're going to be ready to play and come in here. And they know we have some players, but Oklahoma's not. We know it's be a different caliber football team coming in here, but we did what we were supposed to do, and we played well, and that's all you can do in those games. There's a lot of other games today that were that were hairy. I saw today and last week when those things are happening. So I'm glad we were able to do what we were supposed to do, and then it's be the right time for this challenge. We'll see where we're at next week and a great early opening game.
Coach, did you say anything after the game to your team about the shifting gears now going into Oklahoma?
No, that's how I tell them tonight. We'll be ready. And like I said, when you play big games, you can't want to win them. You got to want to prepare for them, and you got to take one day at a time. And right now we're in a mode tonight. Enjoy the win. Get focused tomorrow. Lock into what you got to do, and take it and get ready to get prepared for what you got to. And then they know what's ahead of them, and they know the team that we're going to play. And it's going to be a great football game. Two very competitive football teams, and they'll handle that.
Coach, did you give any thought to getting your starters out there at the halftime, or did you want to do some game planning and start the
We made some change. We got some Storks in center in the second half. We needed to get that. We need to get him and EJ. We're still trying to develop some guys. I wanted to see him start the second half, and then once we had a good thing going there and had the one mistake, and then we were able to come back and do it. But no, I'm not. We had to get better in some things, and then we did that. We overcame a turnover, came right back and scored. Some people don't think no matter who you play, that's a big deal. I do. I mean, that's still an accomplishment for what we did and where we're trying to go. And we made some adjustments in the offensive line too to tweak some things, not for that, but for the future, for where we may have to go, or if you have to do that at center. And we want to see how that chemistry came out.
Coach, you led me in talking about the young guys. Can you kind of speak upon the play of Freeman and Green? They did a lot of nice things.
Freeman, Green, Wilder, Trickett, Dent, all those. Christian Green made a big play. I mean, all those guys. I mean, they got juice. They got juice with that ball. They know what to do with it, and they're hungry, and they're learning to play. And I think they'll have great careers here. And the quicker they're getting ready, and that's why I say these games are very vital for them, just to get in the game, see they can do it, get out there and play, and it'll be a different level. But they got game experience, and like I say, there's nothing like playing when the numbers on the scoreboard are lit up. You can't get that anywhere but when that happens. And very pleased with those guys, and happy they're on our team.
Coach,
what is Burt Reed's status?
But I think he's tweaked tonight. He got stepped on. They said it didn't swell hardly at all. There you go.
You had to hold your breath a little on that one.
Yeah, I mean, he did, and then you got a bunch of other guys. I mean, that's part of it. I mean, then the other guys will get in there and play, and we don't want Burt to be hurt. We want him to be in there. But him and Nick actually stepped on him, I think. They got tied up in the route right there on a junction right there. But they said it didn't really swell that much. But we'll have to wait and see tomorrow.
What did DJ tell you about that interception to kind of let you know that everything's going to turn around?
He did nothing. He just said he left it inside. He made a good read to the right guy. He just left it inside. He meant to leave it outside and just threw a poor ball. Just threw it inside and fixed it. And knew he was wrong when he came over. Told me exactly what he did. And that happens. Like I said, when you throw it around, that'll happen sometimes.
You moved Stork over to center.
We need depth. We wanted to, if Farron Crew gets hurt or anything happens, you got to have that guy. And we wanted to get that chemistry and move him to guard and see how that worked. And Stork did a really nice job. We actually started running the ball really nicely in the second half and got some nice runs going. And he can do that in there. So we're still tweaking and turning, getting the best guys in the best positions.
So that'll still be an option for next week.
Yeah, that's always an option. That's always an option.
Jimbo, you touched on him a little bit. But talk about Rashad. It seems like he's just a big play waiting to happen.
3 catches, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And they weren't easy. In a return, they come on punt safe. That was on a punt safe. And what happened in that Christian Jones, when he went to block, the guy's hand got up. His hand got caught in the guy's helmet and couldn't get out. So it was a hold. I mean, and they got to call it. And I was afraid he was going to hurt his hand. That was a punt safe. I mean, he just juiced it on his own. And the guy, I've said that. I've told y'all camp. I really like that guy. I mean, he's smart. Can catch, he can go deep, he can run with the ball. I mean, he's got a lot of tools, and think he's going to be a heck of a player.
Why'd you decide to go ahead and go with Wilder? He obviously played well, but what was
Well, because we decided with the nicks and knacks at running back and where we're at, and guys banged up, and that we need that big body. And later in the year, as we progress and go where we hopefully we want to go to, we're going to need that big frame. And as you can see, he's ready. And that last, right before that, he, at the end of camp was a little mentally tired. You know what I'm saying? And because he hadn't been through the spring like Freeman and those guys, so we said, just wait and see. And then last week, all of a sudden, it started to click. You just saw him kind of get his second win. Afterward, not playing last week. I think might made him a little hungry, and we said, something, we're going to need him down the road. We're going to need to keep developing him and bringing him and get that body for what he can do in the red zone goal line and pounding that ball. And those all of a sudden those 3-yard runs were 6-yard runs. They were 5-yard runs. That's what that big body can do. And then he had a nice long one at the end. So we're going to get him going and play. He can help us on special teams and everywhere else.
Coach, do you think that Clint's kind of shut people up with his play through the first 2 games?
I don't know if he shut people up. I mean, everybody always doubts. He's played well. He's done what he's been asked to do, and played very well, and made throws and made reads, and went out there and executed the offense. And I can't be more pleased. The biggest thing he did, there was some protection checks in there that he really slid to, even more than the throws. I was more excited about. He showed me he really understands what we're doing in protection and as an executing running the offense and little things. I was very pleased with.
On the other side of the ball, Timmy Jernigan got a lot of reps and it looked like he came through pretty well.
He's been coming through in practice every day. I mean, that guy does it every day, and he's going to be a heck of a football player. All those young guys are physical, strong, and just a great kid. I mean, loves to play football. He really does.
We've circled September 17th for a long time now. Is it almost a relief for you to finally be able to talk about it and not look ahead to it?
Well, yeah, I mean it is because it's a big game, and that's why you coach in those games. Coach at Florida State, you want to play in those big games, and it is. I mean, we'll get prepared. We'll get our bearings back tonight, correct our mistakes real quick, and then move on and get ready to go play a great Oklahoma team, and hopefully we'll be able to go out there and compete and lay it on the line. I think our kids will be ready to compete, and Oklahoma will be prepared. They're a great team, we know that, but it's here.
Coach, it's
Time to be quiet now.
only the 3rd game of the season. How do you prepare a team to not put too much importance on that game when you've got a whole schedule ahead?
Well, that's a great point. It is a very important game, and it can set the tone and do a lot of things, but at the same time, it's one football game. It's the 3rd football game of the year. We understand that. But we have a thing, living the now. Our now is Oklahoma. Our now from right now until Saturday, at the end of Saturday night is Oklahoma. Then we have to put that one away and go to the next one. And I think that's one thing that good football teams learn to do. And I learned from a couple guys a while ago that you got to learn to live in the moment, and then when that's over, whether you win or lose, to push it on. But our team understand. I think I preached that enough to them that we understand the importance of this game and what it means. And if you win it, great. And then we got another game next week. If something happens, we don't come out on top like we need to be, we still got to get another game the next week. And it's our first conference game. So we understand that, and I think that's part of your education to your team, as not now, but year long, for how we try to practice and live and do everything. That's why you always hear me talk about the process, living the now. I think that's where that comes into play, is when you play these kind of games.
Christian Green made a nice play early in the game. Was just for him to be able to kind of show people what he can do?
And he's really started to come on and practice the last couple of weeks. You know what I mean? It routes and getting better and gets that ball in his hand. Now he's starting to play fast. You didn't see the athleticism because he was still searching in what he was doing, and now he's starting to really understand. You see that speed and that size, and that was great to see him do that. That was great to see him do that.
You guys got Jermaine Thomas in the mix this week too. I mean, what did it look like?
Good. I mean, got some nice runs, got some juice, got some live legs, made a couple nice runs. So, I mean, we're going to need all those guys, and very pleased. Jermaine's been practicing well, too. Practiced very well this week.
Did you come in expecting to take some deep shots, or was that how they were playing?
Well, we knew we wanted to throw some, and all of a sudden we were running. I mean, them safeties were, I don't know if you can say, they were flying to the box. I mean, they knew we wanted to run the ball, and we wanted to establish and work on our run, and they were flying up in there, and we just normal play action. They were just normal checks and play actions that we went to, and were able to connect. They missed on a couple. We had a couple more that we wish we could have hit.
You happy with Bert's play before he got banged up?
Yeah, he seemed to be playing a solid game. I watched it on film. He blocked and caught the ball, and scored. I think he scored. Did he score 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, he had 2.
Yeah, he had a check down there one time. Yeah, right in the corner of the end zone in that one little post route in the back. He did. Bert's been playing good. Been a good leader.
You just look at the stakes tonight to track record. You peek at Oklahoma a little bit time. You start looking at that.
Oh, we'll start looking at them. They've already been broken down. I mean, we did this summer, broke them down, know what we got to do, got a jump start about at least where we can go. You know what I'm saying, and what we thought and all that. And that's, we got to revamp. They've only had one game, so we'll see if they did the same things. But good teams do the same thing. They don't change. I mean, they'll have their tweaks and turns and game plan things, but good teams do what they do and do them well. And Oklahoma does them really well.
Not a lot of flags this week. You got a couple this week.
Oh, you got a little bunch tonight. That was disappointing tonight. Now, well, we had 2 offsides on defense. Had an offsides on the kicking game again. O-line, we had, 4 holds? I want to see a couple of them, though. Some of them guys, we were getting such great position on them, and because a guy goes on the ground don't mean it's a hold. When you torque a guy and put him on the ground. 1 or 2 of them work. I saw 2 of them for sure, but I want to see 2 others before I make a comment. But, and of course, we got a late head, got a head in the helmet, too. We're back on that strategy again.
Coach, it's no secret that Oklahoma likes to throw the ball around. How do you feel the defense is ready? Because, the first 2 games, they've been kind of playing against teams that like to do the option and, trying to run on the perimeter.
Seeing us in practice. See, we do good on good. That's one thing we do every Tuesday and Wednesday. Good on good inside, run. Good on good 7-on-7, good on good team. We practice good on good. A lot of teams don't do that. We do it every week. So we don't ever lose that fastball look in what we're trying to do. So they're getting against good people. In what we're doing.
Have you heard any more on Willie Halstead since Thursday?
No, I mean that's just we'll have to wait. That's a day-to-day thing. That's a touchy thing. It's a shame.
When was the last time? Obviously, when we were at LSU, you had a game of this magnitude, 2 top 5 teams, game day, all that. When's the last time you were in an environment like that?
Well, we had 3 or 4 times down there. We had it Georgia one time. We had it. We had it Florida one time, I think. Where else did we have it? We had it Arkansas one day too. We were both 10-1. Had it. Okay. That's 4 or 5 times.
It's gonna be fun, though, right?
Oh, yeah, that's why you're in the game. Heck, if you don't want to do this, you need to go home. You need to go find something else to do. That gum. I mean, this is what it's all about. Be able to go compete, and play in the big games, and lay it on the line. I mean, this is the fun time. This ain't time to get nervous now. This is time to go have fun and compete. You want to win and all that, but now it's time to lay it on the line and have fun.
We're all excited, baby. Is that part of the message that you're